and welcome to another Forza Horizon 4 video. Now, if you're looking for a very fast 4-door saloon car, typically you would go straight to either BMW or Mercedes, as they have both been doing this for a very long time, making very fast 4-door saloon cars. However, Porsche and Alfa Romeo have now started doing the same thing with the Panamera from Porsche and the Giulia Quadrifoglio from Alfa Romeo. Now, the question is the Giulia and the Panamera just as good, if not better, than the usual fast 4-door saloons you would see from BMW and Mercedes? Well, to find this out, we got all four of these new fast 4-door saloons together for a series of challenges. So, this is what happened. Okay, so for our first event, we're doing a drag race, kind of a given really in these challenges. It should be interesting. My Alpha has the least power, but it's the lightest by something like 600 pounds. The other three have 4-wheel drive, so they'll probably get off the line better than me. My goal is just to not come last, but I don't even know if that's going to happen. We'll see. So let's go. We're off. Ooh. And the BMW gets a good launch.
BMW is away into the Porsche by far.
The Alpha's being better.
There is no chance of the Merc catching the BMW. That is the BMW in first.
I mean, I got a slow. I got a
16.7 half mile. That is not bad.
Jeez.
That's not bad. I got a slow start, but there was just no way of catching that.
Yeah, it was just the combination of 4-wheel drive plus with the fact that I just had such a good launch mixed with the fact that there's just such a little difference between our power.
Yeah.
I was hoping I would close in on the Porsche a bit better than that. I was about a second slower than it, so it was gone.
You were 1 second and 1 millisecond slower.
Yeah, Alpha didn't do so well there.
Now it is time for us to begin the autocross challenge. This will put the cars through their paces, testing their suspension, their tires, their brakes, and most importantly, their performance of their engines. What we're going to be doing is going through around this half-mile course and seeing which one of our cars has the fastest time through this slalom. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go!
We're off.
Haven't hit anything yet.
Top. Hasn't hit anything yet. Don't get a penalty yet. Not sure if first gear is really the way to go. I might just shove it into second. There we go. Around the last circle. Try to take the fence to the end of the tunnel and across the line.
Okay. Quinn, do you want to know your time?
Yes.
You got a 41.37.
Okay, and that's with no penalties because I didn't hit anything. So
yep, no penalties. 3, 2, 1, go.
He's off.
And he is off. Very clean, very tidy. No impacts from him yet. Going around the cones now.
Bit of understeer.
Very nice.
On the trek back. Oh, that's one cone. That's going to be a half a second. What is it going to be? Ooh! That is close. A healthy time. I got a 40.28 plus the half-second penalty, so 40.78. So, Tiger, are you ready?
I am indeed.
In 3, 2, 1, go!
He's off.
And he's off.
Don't want to take any risks with penalties.
Okay. It won't matter. Oh, he's understeer on the way out. He's destroyed a fence. It doesn't count.
And across the line.
Across the line.
You got a 40.
Oh.
1.
Oh.
Damn it.
0.71.
Oh no. Wait, what did the Alpha
Very
get?
close.
What did the Alpha get?
0.3.
The Alpha got 0.37.
In 3, 2, 1, go!
Away he goes.
Perfect precision around there. Ooh, he hasn't hit the cone though. That was very close there. He's done it around there, very nice. Maybe getting a little bit of oversteer on the exits. But
Yeah.
he's got one more corner and then he's on his way back.
So what he did get was a 40.79.
1/100th of a second.
No! 800ths of a second slower!
That means
So what are the
Porsche
results
is the
then?
victor.
Yes!
Yeah, Porsche's going to be the winner of that.
Oh,
The BMW in second by the smallest of margins, pretty much.
800ths!
Alpha in third, and then the Merc off in last place. Okay, so for our next challenge, we've come here to Broadway for a circuit race. Obviously this is going to be more of a mix of straight line speed and handling than the drag race or the agility challenge was. So yeah, could be a bit interesting.
We all got the Julia off the line, which is no surprise.
gosh,
Oh, he's gone in deep.
Oh god,
Have to get him.
understeer.
Gaining on the Porsche on the straight.
Oh,
That'll
my
break him.
brakes!
Oh, just about got him. The Julia is
Almost on the
gaining
back of the
him.
GT4.
Oh,
I'm
no,
up the
he's
inside of the
quite got way
GT4.
inside. I've got the
Come
power.
on! And then like 130 more horsepower in that Merc. It's just nothing I can do.
Gonna go up his inside. It hasn't worked. He's got better. That Porsche does get a good run out the corners.
Yeah, it's really surprising how well that thing's doing.
Come on!
Come on!
Gone out wide there, hit the wall, he's up my inside, I'm gonna have to yield the position. No, I'm not! Sticking it on the outside.
Oh!
Got the run.
Look,
And across the line!
There we go.
Third place for the map.
There we go.
here we go.
The Alpha put up it did its best, the Alpha.
Wow!
Yeah, that
But
was a
to
good
no avail,
battle.
really.
I got the worst lap.
So the next thing I wanted to do to test these four-door super saloons was go to a circuit and drive them all around in the same conditions with obviously the same driver to set a lap time in all four to get maybe a bit more of an accurate reading for which one was the quickest. Obviously we did do a race just then, however obviously different drivers and it wasn't really the best track. I could have chosen a better one, so I came here to Fortune Island to what is possibly one of my favourite circuits in the game, full stop. It's a good mix of straights and nice and twisty corners, as you're seeing here with the Porsche. Now I did actually start off with the Porsche, and it's lovely to drive. It's one of the first times I've actually driven this car in this game, and it feels really, really good to drive. Not really too much understeer. It's really, really nice and planted. I then moved on to the Mercedes-Benz GT4, and there was one thing I noticed pretty much straight away with this thing, just into the first corner. This thing feels a lot more like a lumbering big four-door saloon that weighs pretty much 2 tons. The Porsche and this I think weigh pretty much the same, however there's big differences in the way that they both drive. You can see through here, through this long sweeping left-hander that really tests sort of the car's understeer and grip in general. This thing I had to lift multiple times during the corner to actually get the front end turned in, whereas the Porsche didn't really struggle with that. You can see it's just lumbering through the corners, and while it feels okay to drive, it's nowhere near the way the Porsche drives. The Porsche just feels great to drive, and as you can see, getting a little bit of shape in the penultimate corner. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed with this one. Just feels really sort of lumbery and slow. So yeah, that was the Mercedes' lap. Next up was the BMW M5. Now this has around 600 horsepower, which is quite a lot of horsepower. It's about 30 less than the Mercedes. However, I noticed this thing drove quite a lot better than the Mercedes. Maybe not as good as the Porsche in my opinion, but it's very, very close between them. You can see through here it handles this corner so much better and with a lot more speed on the exit as well. I feel like I could really trust the brakes in this thing as well. So that was really, really good. Getting a very nice line out of there, barely missing the wall on the outside. Just a little bit of a lift coming through here just to get the front end turned in, but not much. Yeah, going from driving the Mercedes to driving this thing was a big difference, in a good way, not in a bad way at all. This thing I noticed drove quite a lot better than the Mercedes. It might just be the way the chassis was put together on the Mercedes, I don't know. That's the best guess I can have as to why the Mercedes was performing like that. But yeah, the BMW, really nice and solid, really nice solid car to drive around that track. And last up was obviously the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio, and you might have noticed we've been doing this from a standstill, so obviously the other three cars will have a bit of an advantage off the line with their four-wheel drive, and obviously a bit more power as well. This has the least amount of power by quite a long way. Even the Porsche has about 50 more horsepower than it. Then we jump to the Mercedes. The most powerful car has about 130 more than this. So yeah, quite big power differences within these cars. However, personally, this is my favourite car to drive. As you can see, we're flat out round that right hander, not even a little bit of lift. It's the latest by, I think, about 500–600 pounds, which really makes a big difference in this car. And when you compare this to driving the Mercedes, it's a huge difference. The Mercedes feels a lot heavier, feels a lot less in control. You feel a lot more in control with this thing personally. So yeah, out of the four cars, this one is my favourite to drive. So these are the times I set in the four cars, and well, there's a bit of a surprise, because at the top you may notice is the Alfa Romeo. Yes, the rear-wheel drive car that has 100 less horsepower than the BMW M5 is actually a tenth quicker than it. Even with it being rear-wheel drive and it getting a slower launch off the line, it managed to gain all that time that it lost off the line in the corners. That's just how good it feels to drive around the corners. I think that demonstrates it quite nicely. And yeah, as I said, the BMW just behind it in second place by 1/10 of a second. Then behind the BMW M5 by 3/10 is the Porsche Panamera. Well, it did feel good to drive, didn't quite have enough power to really match the BMW. And then the Mercedes, not really surprisingly, down in last place, half a second slower than the Porsche. Yeah, I mean, it has a lot of power. It's around the same weight as the Porsche, but it feels not right to drive, basically. But yeah, I'm very happy that the Alfa managed to get the quickest lap in all of that. So at the end of the challenge, this is what the points look like. I'm just gonna jump straight to the total. In last place we have the Mercedes GT 4-door on just 7 points, and then just ahead of it by 1 point is the Alfa. It actually doubled its points in that lap times challenge, managing to get 4 points in there, making it have 8 points. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy the Alfa at least didn't come last. And then jumping up a few points, the Porsche came second with 11 points overall, and then jumping up a little bit more to the BMW coming first. It performed really pretty well, either getting first or second in pretty much all of the challenges. So yeah, very strong performer there. And if you're going off just these points here, then the best fast four-door saloon car to get would be the BMW. However, I still think the one I would get would be the Alfa. So there you go. It turns out the Alfa Romeo Giulia and the Porsche Panamera can both put up a pretty good fight up against the BMW M5 and the Mercedes GT 4-door. So that is it for this video. If you have enjoyed it, please make sure to like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already to my channel. It is much appreciated. But until the next video, goodbye.